I was hospitalized for nearly a week. It turned out my grandmother was putting household cleaner, I forgot the name of it, it was a while ago, in my food, mixing it in there. And it was making me sick. It was poisoning me. But even then, I didn't blame my grandmother. Even then, I didn't say, I didn't think that she was trying to kill me. I thought maybe she was old and she slipped up. And the hospital, since I was a foster kid, I was a street kid, I was a kid that no one wanted, I was a fucking orphan essentially, they just assumed that I was trying to get high somehow. They didn't put two and two together. Of course, I didn't tell them anything either. So when I got out, I was shaky and I was weak. Man, I laid it in the group home and I just recovered for a little while. And then, as usual, I got up and I ran away again. Like a lost fucking dog that was so desperate to get a pat on the head, I went back to my grandmother. Because again, it's hard to explain, man. I wanted to be loved. I wanted my family. My mother did so much horrible shit to me that I couldn't even contemplate it. And I wanted a mother figure in my life so bad. And my grandmother was the next thing. My mother looked a lot like my grandmother, so it was natural that I just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And around this time, my uncle bought my grandmother a dog. It was a black Rottweiler. And of course, my grandmother, being the racist individual she was, she named that dog the N-word. My uncles and my aunts thought it was so fucking funny. They made all these damn jokes in my fucking face. They would call the dog, whose name was the N-word, and they would say the most racist jokes and apply that to the dog. Of course, I'm not going to repeat them here because TikTok will ban me. And I would look at them and I'm like, you know that I'm half black. And they would look back at me and they're like, your father was a piece of shit. Why do you even honor that blackness? And even though my father was a piece of shit, he was still my father. And I just wanted family. I told them that offended me because I am half black. And I remember my uncle laughed. He laughed really hard about that. He said, no, you're not half Arab. You're not half anything. You're just an N-word. And my grandmother and my aunts and my uncles, they just laughed it all up. Then remember my uncle picked me up and threw me outside and told me to go sit with the N-word dog. He told me that N-word dog is my family because we're both black. And that was the first time I really started to fight back. That was the first time that I attacked my uncle.